So in theory, you could do a Memorial Day MURPH, a Memorial Day modified MURPH from the comfort of your own home without even moving outside of a couple square foot radius. No bar? No worries, we got you covered. Hey, what's up? This is Ben from WODprep, and in this video, we have a special edition. This is all about CrossFit Hero Workout MURPH, specifically modified MURPH. We are in an unprecedented time right now at the shooting of this video where many of us are not going to be able to leave our homes and work out with our friends and not going to have access to any equipment in order to do MURPH. So this video is all about how you can do a modified version of MURPH no matter if you don't have any equipment, no matter if you don't have a vest. It doesn't matter. There is absolutely no excuses why you cannot participate in Memorial Day MURPH. Let's remember one thing. Memorial Day is about something special, and that is honoring the fallen soldiers. That's why MURPH is a very common workout to do in the CrossFit community and really across all realms of fitness. This is the one workout where everyone comes together to do a CrossFit workout. That's because MURPH is a fallen soldier. He's a Navy SEAL, Lieutenant Michael Murphy. If you want to read more about his story, I encourage you to do so. But ultimately, this workout is about honoring him and honoring everyone who has fallen on the battlefield fighting for their country and fighting for what they believe is right. This workout is not about going RX or going scale. This isn't about a leaderboard. This isn't about you trying to beat your friends. This is about honoring the fallen soldiers. This is about honoring Lieutenant Michael Murphy. This is about introspection and doing something really freaking difficult because some people no longer have that option. So I just want to make that clear. Before we move into all the nitty-gritty strategies and cool modifications, it's really important that you understand the purpose behind this workout and the purpose behind this entire event to make sure that your mind is in the right place. Now, if you want the complete strategy guide, maybe you're someone who's lucky to have the equipment necessary. Maybe you have a pull-up bar. Maybe you have everything that you need to actually do MURPH as it's written. That's great. We actually have a full video here on YouTube. The link is going to be in the description and in the top comment below. I pinned it there for you. You can go watch our very old school video where I am actually in Japan talking about how to strategize for MURPH. But in this video, we're going to talk about a specific modified version that anyone, no matter if you are completely locked down, stuck inside your home, you can still do a version of MURPH. That's what this video is all about. And also, if you are lucky enough to have equipment, we do have a complete strategy guide on our blog. I'll make sure to link that below too. It talks about warming up, it talks about cooling down, and all the intricacies of doing the actual MURPH workout. But now let's move on and talk about how you can do it without any equipment. So the first modified MURPH tip that I want to give you, a lot of times I see people say, I don't have a weight vest, so I'm just gonna run normally. Well, I would say that's a bit of a cop-out. If you're someone who really wants to do something difficult, you don't need a special plate carrier vest to do a weighted run. In fact, they have these crazy things called backpacks or awkward objects that you can wear on your back or just carry along for the run. So I'm encouraging you, especially if you need to water down MURPH or modify in any way, shape, or form, I challenge you to do the run with something difficult. So if you have a weight vest, that's great. But ultimately, what matters is doing hard things. If you do a difficult run, I would suggest taking a backpack and maybe putting some weight in that backpack. Or you could take a medicine ball and carry it over your shoulder. Or you could just carry a dumbbell or carry a kettlebell. It doesn't really matter. Carry something difficult, and that is how that run will stay true to the way the workout was originally written. All right, I'm gonna make you a deal here. I'm gonna hold a plank until you hit the subscribe button, all right? So I'm gonna hold this plank, 3, 2, 1, go. And I'm gonna hold it until you hit subscribe. I can go on for hours, but I'd much prefer it if you just hit the subscribe button right now, please, because it's gonna slowly get harder. I did a lot of toes to bar recently, so just hit the red button. So no vest, no problem. You can still make this run happen and make it more difficult than just a normal 1 mile run. Now let's talk about no bar. No worries, we got you covered. If you do not have a bar for pull-ups, which I expect for a lot of people, this is going to be the main issue when it comes to doing this workout. There are a couple interesting modifications that I've come up with that I think could make this workout still a very challenging and grueling workout that truly does honor the fallen. The first option that I want to give you is if you can't do normal pull-ups, you can scale to some sort of row pull-up. So in a recent video we released about how to develop ring muscle-ups at home, we talked about about a simple drill that was a broomstick pull-up. All you're doing is you're taking some sort of dowel or broomstick or PVC pipe, laying it across 2 chairs or 2 benches or 2 tables, and you are doing basically a supine row. If you do that, you could modify and use those for your pull-ups. I wouldn't obviously recommend kipping in this situation, but you could use, rather than doing 100 pull-ups, you could transfer that to 100 rows. If you want maybe a slightly more difficult version of the pull-ups, let's say we can't do the pull-ups, you don't want to do the rows, then I'm challenging you to do this. What if you replaced the 100 pull-ups with 100 handstand push-ups? Sure, if you have a weight vest, you can wear it, but this will be challenging, so maybe not. If you do the 100 handstand push-ups, you could do them strict. You could do a mix of kipping and strict, but ultimately 100 pull-ups is difficult. 100 handstand push-ups is probably even more so. So especially if you're someone who's planning to partition the reps and break them up, we'll talk about that later. I think that handstand push-ups, either kipping or strict, could be a great way to modify MURPH. Now, if you do 100 pull-ups exchanged for 100 handstand push-ups, if you're doing handstand push-ups, I wouldn't suggest then doing 200 normal push-ups. That's a heck of a lot of pushing in the workout, and it might actually fatigue you too much. So if you do the 100 handstand push-ups, which is very easy to do from home, 0 equipment needed, if you do that, you can modify the push-ups. 200 push-ups would then be exchanged for something like 200 sit-ups or 200 hollow rocks. Or you could do 200 weighted hollow rocks or 200 weighted sit-ups. It really doesn't matter here, but if you want to keep the reps scheme the same and do 100 of something, 100 handstand push-ups, then maybe 200 sit-ups. I think that is a phenomenal way to modify MURPH so that there is absolutely 0 equipment necessary and you can still get a phenomenal workout from home and make sure this workout is difficult. Just touch it just please click subscribe. Please click subscribe. Thank you very much. Another quick note for the handstand push-ups, just like when we're doing MURPH at our normal CrossFit gyms, which we might not have access to right now, very sadly, if you're someone who's stuck at home, we don't have to just do normal handstand push-ups. You can always modify. So with the pull-ups, a lot of times we'll do some sort of banded pull-ups or jumping pull-ups, and that works as a great way to modify MURPH but still get the reps in. Well, for handstand push-ups, we can do the same exact thing. Imagine doing 100 inverted pike push-ups or 100 box handstand push-ups or 100 partial range of motion handstand push-ups. There's so many ways to modify these handstand push-ups, and if you're looking to develop handstand push-ups, we do have several free training guides, and we even have a full-fledged 8-week training course that can help you improve your handstand push-ups. The bottom line is you don't have to just go RX or not at all. Instead, if you're doing the 100 handstand push-up modification, remember, you can scale it down, and that is the beauty of CrossFit, and that's why it doesn't matter where you are. As long as you're willing to do hard things, you can honor the fallen and do a modified Memorial Day MURPH. So we've talked about the potential pull-up modification, either the rows or the handstand push-ups. If you opt for the push-ups, then the actual 200 normal push-ups we can then convert to something like sit-ups or hollow rocks or anything in between. You can add weight. You can do whatever you feel you're comfortable with and get a great workout. Now, the next movement we need to talk about is the squats. So air squats, obviously, there's really no need for modification here. There's no equipment necessary. As I mentioned earlier, if you don't have a plate vest or a weight vest to wear when you're doing the air squats, maybe you can just add something to the air squat. So add a kettlebell on your shoulder or a goblet squat or a backpack filled with textbooks. It doesn't matter, but I challenge you, even if there's just one movement that you make a little bit more difficult, maybe you don't even do a weighted run, just make these squats a little bit harder and see how it goes for you. I promise you, it's really gonna up the ante and challenge you in this workout. So make them weighted in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, if you're someone who can barely do an air squat without pain or you don't have the mobility for it, that's fine. Just get the reps done and you will be doing yourself a great service. If you really need some sort of modification, you could do something as simple as squatting to a chair or squatting to a box or squatting to something that's right at parallel, and that could be a great scaled down version for the air squats. Why haven't you hit subscribe yet? Just hit the subscribe button. Just please hit the subscribe button. This wasn't meant to be a competition. I just wanted to, it was a game. Just hit the subscribe button, please. Just hit it. Just hit it. And one of the last things that I want to talk about is, even if you don't have access to a run, here is a special at-home modified version of the run that you can do from anywhere. So in theory, you could do a Memorial Day MURPH, a Memorial Day modified MURPH from the comfort of your own home without even moving outside of a couple square foot radius. And that's because a great modification, if you can't do the 1 mile run, is to modify it to 100 burpees. So if you're someone who's unable to run due to an injury, you're unwilling to run due to weather, you're unable to run because you're not allowed to leave your house, then you can simply modify this to 100 burpees. The reason I say that is because on average, 100 burpees should take about the same time as it takes to run 1 mile. So if you're someone who's super duper fit, that could be in the 5-6 minute range. If you're someone who's not quite super elite, then it might take more in the 8 to 12 minute range. Ultimately, 100 burpees is a great scale. Now, if you're someone who normally modifies to something like a half MURPH, maybe you run half a mile, then you could do 50 burpees in the beginning, 50 burpees at the end. Ultimately, burpees are a great modification that gives you the ultimate cherry on top to say, hey, I have no excuses no matter what the weather, no matter what my restrictions, no matter what my equipment, I can participate in a Memorial Day MURPH. Now, a MURPH video would not be complete without talking about the rep scheme. So there's always a major debate. Are you supposed to do all the reps unbroken or unpartitioned, or can you break up the reps? Technically, the way that CrossFit HQ originally wrote the workout, you are allowed to break up the 100, 200, and 300 in any way that you want. You could Cindy it, you could do 20 rounds of 5, 10, 20, I think is what it is, or no, 5, 15, 20, or you can modify it in any way, shape, or form. But what I would say is ultimately when you go into this workout, it doesn't matter if you do the run or the modified run and then 100, 200, 300 and then the run, or if you do the run and then various rounds of partition reps and then the run at the end. It doesn't matter how you do it, because remember, this workout is not about doing it right or wrong, it's about honoring the fallen. So as long as you remember that, it doesn't really matter how you do the rep scheme. What matters is that your head is in the right place and that you work your butt off to honor those who are no longer with us.
Just hit the subscribe button. It's the red button. Just.
So here's what I want you to do. If you're someone who's willing to accept my challenge and at all costs do hard things and do a modified MURPH on Memorial Day or surrounding it, I want you to leave a comment below and let me know what modifications you use. This is no place for shaming. This is no place to say you didn't do MURPH right. Ultimately, it doesn't matter how you do MURPH as long as your head is in the right place. So leave a comment below. Let me know which modification you have decided to do. If you have any questions, I will be active in the comments, making sure to answer any and all of them before you do MURPH. Remember to check the resource guides that I have in the description and in the top comments below. And then last but not least, I'm going to ask you to actually tag me on your social media channels. So if you didn't know, here at WODprep, we're very active on Instagram. I have my own Instagram account. It's just @WODprep. I want you to tag me in your Instagram stories or in your Instagram posts and tag me in your modified MURPH. So I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that it was a unique take that can allow you to throw those excuses out the window and honor the fallen on Memorial Day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. I'm about to sneeze. About to sneeze.